This is actually going to shock some people. Not that you would want to shock people, because shocking is just showing them something they didn't know because nobody on CNBC told them about it. But look at on slide 70 of the current macro deck. And let me just circle this one for you, all right? Because this is a beauty. Here we go. Ready? Wait for it. Wait for it. Woo! Look at that beauty. Woo! Oh! Howdy. What the hell am I going to do with that? This is the Q2 update. Now, don't lose your mind yet, because this is only nine out of the S&P 500's 500 companies. So you're saying there's a chance. But currently, on the 9 companies that have reported earnings, this has been reported by nobody, and this is the most easy news to report. Currently, the S&P 500 earnings growth rate is minus 25%.
All right, back to questions.
Yes, but Marianne Bartel says last night, well, because we don't see earnings negative yet year over year, we are constructive on buying stocks.
Great question. That's awesome.
Hey everybody, how you doing? I know my channel doesn't really focus on these type of issues, but it's actually something that I spend quite a bit of my free time reading about, looking into, is how to utilize money to make money. And in this day and age, the stock market, it's really a joke from the standpoint of valuations. So it will be very interesting to see what happens as these companies start to report bad earnings. And it's already happening, and that's what that first clip is about. And the stock market is expecting the government to intervene. And that's basically what has been happening for the last 15 years. So the other thing that I thought I'd throw up is the U.S. debt clock. Now, I have not gone in to do any fact check on these numbers, but what I thought was interesting is that the population of the United States is 329.3 million. The U.S. workforce is 157 million. That's less than half the population is considered a part of the workforce. And out of that 157 million, 24 million are government workers. So I believe that's about 15% of all workers are government worker. All of us are fairly insulated. None of us can cover the entire economy. For example, I live in Manchester, New Hampshire when I'm not traveling, and that is the environment that I'm exposed to, and it's more of a working class area. So you tend to see misery fairly early on. Unlike if you live in a fairly affluent neighborhood, you're not going to see the things in your neighborhood that I see. And so people feel pain a lot faster in working class neighborhoods than they do in affluent neighborhoods, because they just don't have the buffer. They don't have the savings to use as protection when they fall on hard times. The other thing that the debt clock includes is it's the money supply, the M2 money supply, to the gold and the silver ratio. So I don't follow mainstream media. I may listen to them, but I don't believe anything they're selling, so I don't really follow them or listen to them unless it's in passing. I try to do my own search for information, and then I try to use time to determine whether somebody is accurate or not, and I try to use my own common sense on what I think is happening. What we do know is that our government lies to us, and that they manipulate things for a certain group of people that probably does not include you or I. And so it is up to us to make sure that we protect ourselves, that we take steps to ensure that we don't have to rely on this government. Because if you rely on them, you're going to end up with the short end of the stick. Absolutely. Take steps while you can. I hope everybody's doing well, and please leave your comments and your questions below.